Welcome back to the Morning Show right here on ETV. Now, today we have the pleasure of speaking with a phenomenal young artist who's making waves in the music industry with her soulful voice and powerful message. She's the first ever recipient of the Emerging Artist of the Year award at the 2023 Basadi Music Awards. And her music is a beautiful blend of passion, faith, and the pursuit of love and justice. Now, we would love to welcome Noluthando to the Morning Show. Noluthando, welcome.
Thank you so much for helping me.
My goodness, I am so excited to be talking to you because I love talking to artists, because the one thing about art is that it allows you to express yourself. It gives you a space to let things out, right? And the beauty about it is that you can do it in whatever shape, form, or size you would love to, right? How did the expression of music then come into your midst?
So music has always been part of the family. I think just as a black child, music is always just part of the lived experience. But it wasn't until I was in varsity and I had joined a church and there was this moment of worship, and it just immediately my voice just kind of came out. And I was like, wait a minute, this is something that I could see myself doing. I was singing here and there, but not really thinking it could be something that was for me. But in that moment, it almost felt like that's my calling and that's where I was supposed to go.
Okay, usually in instances like that, people then would stick to the gospel music genre. But you didn't, right? How did you then find or navigate yourself to finding your sound as it is today?
I think it's just because my voice is different. I think there's a difference between spreading the gospel and having gospel music or gospel genre. And that is a specific sound. And my voice doesn't suit that. And I always kind of was more in the folky, Afro side. That was just my jam and my vibe anyway. So I thought, let me just go down my lane because that's where I'm supposed to be.
So what would you say are some of the people that have inspired your musical journey?
From Umambusi Mhlongo to Florence and the Machine, Aurora, even sort of more contemporary artists like Misaki and Muzi. All those people have really shaped the way I want to do things. I think they have such a unique perspective on what music is, and that it's supposed to be of service and not just something that you just do just to express. Yes, there's an element of that because it's so important, but there's an element of I'm bringing this art to serve and to show you that it can be done in different ways. And I really do appreciate that about them.
You've spoken about Msaki being one of the people that has inspired your musical journey, but you've also gotten the chance to work with her. Tell us about that relationship.
She's the most kind, most safe person you can ever meet. She is such a gentle soul, and just meeting her was a dream come true. I think the first time I got to see her perform was at the awards, and it was just a surreal experience. I've always wanted to see her perform. Now getting to be her mentee has been a phenomenal journey, and I feel like our souls just connect, and I'm just so grateful that our paths have crossed this way.
And she's spoken about you. She's actually even spoken about how the one thing that she really just sees in you is a big heart. How does that make you feel when a person that you've admired for so long says that about you?
It's validating and makes you feel seen and heard and appreciated, because I feel sometimes in this industry it's very hard to have a big heart, to lead with vulnerability, to lead with openness. And so to enter the gates through this award and to have her validate the fact that, no, this is actually appreciated and seen as needed, makes me feel like, no, I'm actually on the right path.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Let's talk about your latest single, right? Black Girls Need Good Love Too.
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh. Tell us more about this, because I listen to the song and immediately I get goosebumps and I'm just like, whoo, what a beautiful song. But I know it doesn't just speak about love in the sense of it being a romantic kind of love, but just more of a safe space for Black girls to actually experience love. Tell us about it.
There was a time in my life where someone came to me and said, hey, listen, I'm experiencing infidelity in my relationship, and they've been together for years, decades at this point. I was kind of heartbroken because this person had given their entire life to being in this relationship. And I was kind of processing that. And then while that was happening, a song by Aurora called Exist for Love comes on. And I'm watching the music video and she's in this pearl, the 1940s, looking like this whole, and I was like, I can't see myself in that picture. That's very specific and very Eurocentric, that she's universally saying we exist for love, but it's not universal in the application of how this music was presented to me. And so I was like, no, I'm so tired of hearing the same narrative that love is only tender for a certain demographic, or looks tender. I'm not saying it's always tender, but it looks tender for a certain demographic of people. And whereas with Black women, you hear toxic love, you hear abusive love. And so I was just so tired of us being told to be strong and to persevere in relationships. And it's not the case. We do deserve a love that's tender, that is safe and warm and allows for you to show the softer side of who you are. And so that's what I wanted to write.
What about the guys that listen to the song? What do you hope they will take from it? Because I hear you, right? And I'm just like, yes, that's the one side of it, but there's another side.
Correct.
What about them? Because I know the girls will introduce them to the song, or they might just, stumble on it. So what do you hope for them?
I think a practical example is I've got an older brother as well. And he played it, he's got a daughter, my niece. And he was like, I'm so grateful that you have this, because now my daughter gets to grow up into this. And for him, it's such a reminder of like what environment he needs to bring up his daughter in. And that's what I want for the men to realize, that they actually play a pivotal role in providing safety and tenderness and care. It's not outside of their reach to do so. And just because you might not have received a klampe when you were in your child or whatever that might be, doesn't mean that you can't start now to make a difference and actually treat women with tenderness and care. You pour into a woman, you get like so much more multiplied. So if you pour in violence, you're gonna get violence back. If you pour in, just contempt and anger, you're gonna get that back. So if you pour in love, how much more will you receive it?
There are people that are moved by this conversation right now. For people that want to listen to the song, where can they get it?
Yes, so you can find it on all streaming platforms. So your Spotify, your Apples, your YouTubes, all of that. It's just Black Girls Deserve Good Love Too. And then you can find me on my socials at noluthando.mbali on Instagram and at noluthando_mbali on TikTok.
Fantastic. Noluthando, thank you so much for your art. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations, man. I really feel this song is going to be so impactful. From the moment you hear it, the goosebumps of the melody is just coming through you. And then, of course, the messaging of the song. I think it's brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you just for opening up the space for me. I really do appreciate it.
Pleasure. It's our absolute pleasure. That was Noluthando with us right here on The Morning Show with her powerful message in her latest release, Black Girls Deserve Good Love Too. Head on over to all digital platforms and take a listen, man. You might just be moved as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.